Hey, what's up, guys? It's Oakley, and CA, particularly Darren, is here to show us a bit of a new Beastmen mechanic, and it is, well, it's kind of misleading. What they describe this as is the kind of forest ambush, but technically this is actually just a reskinned underground battle. So the reskin is absolutely glorious. You can see the scale due to the small trees at the bottom. Yeah, those are actually real size trees, whereas everything else is absolutely monstrous in scale, in size, and scope. Really love what the artists have been able to do with these awesome features, really pouring their hearts into this. It looks so fitting. Very good stuff. So I think the aesthetics are spot on. The small details there, really, this meteorite here with the story to tell, with corpses around the outskirts. So this, kudos to the artist, doing great work here. Definitely makes this feel like a new setting. I do, however, wish that at some point they would change up the map structures themselves. We have no river battles, we have no fort battles, no unfortified settlement battles. It ends up being a little bit monotonous, and you can only do so many reskins before people get sick and tired of the same mechanics and gameplay. But anyways, like I said, this is a reskin subterranean battle. There is a separate battle which is particular for the Beastmen, where you can ambush units from all around. So it's kind of like an underground battle in the linearity of it, but then the Beastmen can deploy all around and assault within 150 meters or something of the enemy. Seems kind of cheap, and that battle, I assume, is going to be over almost instantly. There's, as CA said, almost no time to recover from it, but I guess that's the point of the Beastmen, is they're supposed to be all about these ambushes. I don't think those battles will be particularly enjoyable, which is why I'm guessing CA did not use it for their demo here. But it's a mechanic. It does kind of seeming to fit, but I did wish they would do more to make new types of game types and things like that are more fun, not just visually but also gameplay wise. There are also some cool mechanics for raising units. You just saw that guy. Also here, I'll slow this down for you one more time. The charge mechanic here is really cool. Take a look at the bulls, the Minotaurs, as they charge forward. The one on the right does a somersault, diving somersault, crashes headlong into the unit. So they have added some cool animations in here to the guy. So a lot of this is flair on top, new artistic renderings and whatnot. New animations, so definitely that goes into some of the price tag for this faction. It's why the new factions, look at this, says he has a unit stuck on his horn and then he flips him over. But yeah, this is the extra animation that CA is talking about. This is where the money goes, as opposed to just another human faction where you can copy and paste the animations over and over again. This is why these units do take more. We have some new magic spells with an awesome looking explosion. CA has said that there are going to be changes to multiplayer, changes to the balance a little bit in the future. So I do hope that they rework the damage of spells. We do need to see bigger impact, direct damage, or not direct damage, area of effect spells. Anyways, onto the units here. A Bray Shaman, I'm just comparing it with a Light Wizard. So it seems that the heroes here are going to be a bit more powerful, health-wise at least. Weapon strength is on par. Charge bonus is higher. That's going to be the story for the Beastmen. They're going to have high charge, but not necessarily the best armor. Health is pretty good, but armor-wise, they're mostly going to be flimsy overall. Comparing two Spearman units, the Ungor Spearman Herd versus the Empire Spearman. I didn't even equip the Empire Spearman with shields. So it just goes to show that the Empire Spearmen with no shields are better than the Ungor Spearmen with shields in terms of armor. So yeah, charge bonus again goes to the Beastmen. But after that, they really have just shitty stats, so they're going to be pretty weak, which is one of the things Darren kept saying over and over again. So expect a thin infantry line, kind of like the greenskins in terms of like goblins, and you'll have your heavy hitting troops coming in after that in the form of Bestigors and all that. So I decided to pick up the Bestigor here and take a look at the health compared to the Greatsword. My God, they have lots more health, about 3,000 more, or 2,200 more. Armor is the same, leadership is roughly the same. They have more speed, they have higher melee attack, slightly lower melee defense, much higher weapon strength, and a higher charge bonus. Now they do have 10 fewer troops in each of the units, but still, facing off against one another, this Bestigor does look pretty good. Now it does, the one I clipped here has a silver chevron, so that may be throwing off some of the stats, but still they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Next, the Minotaurs. Wanted to compare this with the Chosen. Health-wise, Minotaurs have more health, but fewer models again. Speed-wise, they're much quicker. Charge bonus is obviously higher. Weapon strength is unbelievable, 104. But again, lower armor, lower melee defense, which is once again the theme of the Beastmen. And I'm a little worried about the kind of pace of Total War Warhammer. It does seem to favor much more the charge. We don't see any kiting or skirmishing phases almost at all taking place. I think part of that is due to the factions rosters, but I think a large part of it is actually due to the maps. Such close distances just promotes that type of gameplay. The maps themselves aren't really designed to make any more interesting gameplay than just charging. Gorbul here, one of the big monstrous units. Wanted to compare it with a Vargulf, so it has more health than a Vargulf, but less health than a giant. It actually has more armor than both. It has a higher equal weapon strength to a Vargulf, but lower than a giant. Melee defense is equivalent to a giant. Melee attack is a little lower. Speed is between a Vargulf and a giant, and charge bonus again is the highest of them all. So definitely looks like the Gorbul here is going to be pretty good, although in the battle we did see it go down pretty quickly. Centaurs here with great weapon. Compare it to Demigryph Knights. They have 60 troops in the entire unit versus Demigryphs which have 18. The Centaurs are splitting more health amongst them, so 5,400. But look at that armor, 35 as opposed to 125. Yeah, they're not going to be holding up to much armor, to much damage-dealing stuff. In terms of charge bonus, they're outclassed. Weapon strike, they're outclassed. Melee defense, melee attack, yeah. These guys are going to get torn to shreds by Demigryph Knights. Equip those Demigryph Knights with halberds, and yeah, they're going to melt these Centaurs. So I do really hope that these Centaurs do end up stacking up well. I am not convinced that they will. So that's it for the unit overview. Do check out that video for more descriptions. Darren does a very good job. In terms of my general impressions for this, I am eager to see what new stuff comes to the multiplayer scene. It's grown a little bit stale for me. They said they are going to implement some new changes. What I really hope that they do is bring more maps that have been ported from things like Shogun 2 that have more detail to them, make the maps larger, space out the deployment zones, create more intricate terrain that blocks line of sight, that promotes stealthy deployment, stealthy maneuvering. I'm kind of sick and tired of the rush and the mob and the general sniping, so I do hope they address those. Something for general sniping, increase the magical resistance of lords, do things like that. And then on top of that, I think they do really need to shake things up by adding a new gameplay mechanic. So that could, again, take the form of different maps. We need river crossings. We need some sort of semblance of a defensive map because the cities are just not doing it. We need a fort. We need something like an unfortified settlement. And also, they needed a new game type, which I believe would best be met by free-for-all, but that would have to be paired with larger maps. Anyways, this does seem very good so far. The Beastmen look fun. Units obviously are kind of what the tabletop says, all about the charge, the ambush, and their weak and sustained combat. So check out that video for more. Anyways, that's been it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. See you in the next one. Peace out.